So this person says, you're aware no matter what gun legislation put in place, a criminal will still get a gun. How do you guys not understand that? And we have a right to protect ourselves from them. Okay, you do understand that I agree with you that you have a right to protect yourself, right? You do understand that I think that you, if you're not a danger to yourself or anybody else, should have the right to own as many guns as humanly possible and as many rounds of ammunition as humanly possible. And yes, you, I, and everybody else has a right to own a gun to defend ourselves against somebody coming through our front door at 2 o'clock in the morning. I agree wholeheartedly. I'm not trying to take your guns. Not in the least bit. Never have I advocated for your guns to be taken from you. I do have a question about your mindset, though. You said no matter what gun legislation is put in place, criminals will still get a gun. Yes, that's absolutely true. But two lines of thought on this. One, that doesn't mean that we have to make it easier for them to get guns, right? We can still try to push as many of those criminal purchases underground and make it as difficult as humanly possible to put a dent in how many criminals can actually get guns. No law is ever going to stop every crime that law protects against, but it can make a difference. When we put drunk driving laws in place, it curtailed drunk driving. When we put seatbelt laws in place, it curtailed the number of people who died in car accidents. So if we have certain types of gun legislation in place, like, for example, expanding background checks to include person-to-person sales, we can push as many of those criminals underground as humanly possible. Therefore, we're not making it easier for them to walk into a gun show in 32 states and just buy a gun, which is what they can do right now. The second line of thought that I would have on this, the second question I would have on this is, do you carry that same energy towards abortion? Doesn't matter what abortion laws you put in place, people will still be able to get them. Do you ever say that? I'm just curious. I'm being sincere. Why isn't the same energy applied to both? You guys on the right say, and once again, I'm not trying to ban guns, but you guys on the right always say, if you ban guns, only criminals will get guns. But if we ban abortions, nobody can get an abortion. Make that make sense. How about we make both abortions and gun ownership as safe and legal as humanly possible for those that should be able to obtain an abortion and a gun? Let's start there. There has to be some common ground, because let's face it, what we're doing when it comes to gun legislation and the policing of who can and cannot purchase a gun in this country, it's not working. Clearly, it's not working. If it was, we wouldn't have the type of annual gun deaths that we have. So how about we try to find that starting ground?